All right. That brings us to our main event topic of the week, and this is going to be a lot different for y'all out there. Hopefully, Kadie and I can present this to y'all a second time as good as we did last night.
I watched more videos last night, so.
So perfect. We have more stuff to talk about. We are, of course, talking about the one, the only, the piece of shitty, DrDisrespect. A lot of people in my communities have been asking me for my opinion on the doc, and you guys are going to get it right now, unabashedly and unapologetically. You guys are going to hear what I have to say. Many of you who know me well already pretty much know what my position is going to be on this, but we are going to present the facts as we know them, and then Kadie and I will give our opinions as we know them. And whether we align with your opinion or not, that's neither here nor there. But we definitely want to hear what your opinions are in the comment section down below, how you feel about this whole situation. But we're going to show you the sequence of events first, and I have an entire thing set up for this. So let's do this. We're going to go three-way here again.
You can't.
Say what?
You can't say three-way, dude. You gotta find something else.
There we go. We are now three-way, and now we're not going to use Rolling Stone, because Rolling Stone did me dirty last night. But here on your left,
it's doing me dirty right now.
Yeah, see. So we're going to do this. We're going to make it bigger for y'all. Former Twitch employee says DrDisrespect knew he was sending sexually explicit messages to a minor. And this is a report. This is a new report that sheds light on Twitch's internal response to the whisper messages. Now, we're going to talk about this. We're going to try to contextually tell you guys, for those of you that don't know anything about this story, how it happened and when it happened. More information has been reported about the 2020 Twitch ban of Guy Beam, also known as the popular streamer DrDisrespect, with a Thursday report from Rolling Stone, including new details from a former Twitch employee. I will show you guys that in a minute. As Beam said in his lengthy statement earlier this week, he exchanged messages in 2017 with a minor. I will show you guys that in a minute. Essentially what happened was, in 2020, after a mass exodus of well-known streamers leaving the Twitch platform, namely people like Ninja and Shroud, who both signed multi-year, multi-million-dollar contracts with a platform called Mixer, which was a Twitch alternative that was created and produced by Microsoft back in 2020. When those two streamers, as well as a bunch of others, all left Twitch for Mixer, one of the responses by Twitch was to lock up DrDisrespect to a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract. Not too long after that decision to give DrDisrespect that large contract, he was permanently banned from the service in June of 2020.
When you say not long after, it was done in March. The deal was it was in March, and then he was banned in June. So like a month later at best.
Yeah, so that would be 3 months, somewhere in there, 2.5 months.
Okay, I'm thinking May. My brain do not work today. Holy
right, no,
crap.
that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, thank you for letting us know that. So the contract was signed in March of 2020. The ban happened in June of 2020 from accusations. Or not accusations, but events that occurred in 2017. So the timing of all this is a little bit weird as well. Perhaps all of this came to light after the contract was signed as a revenge or retribution. I don't know. Doesn't matter at this point in time, because these events actually happened, as admitted by the twit in question. But yeah, let's get into the very first thing here, which is the event that started all of this. And this is the tweet from a former Twitch employee named Cody Connors on X, formerly known as Twitter, where he says he got banned because got caught sexting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text, case closed, gang. And then down here he goes further by saying no one made the wrong decision. Fuck him and his boys. So when this occurred on June 21st, a lot of people were surprised by this. A lot of people weren't as well. We knew that he was banned, and we knew that it was probably for something pretty major, but we didn't know exactly what it was until this. Now, when this came out, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I said it last night, but from my understanding, like on Twitch, you can basically like show your asshole and get banned for like a week and not banned permanently.
It's absolutely crazy the things you can do on Twitch without a ban.
And not just that, y'all, Twitch Whispers. If you don't know what that is, basically it's like a chat, right? But like it only happens when you're live, right? So like, say we're live. No.
So the way.
Okay.
The way Whispers work is exactly like any other direct message.
Just a DM. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a DM. It's a private message on Twitch. So basically, it's between the two people that are in the chat. That just
sounds creepy. I'm sorry. Whispers.
Just calling it a whisper does sound creepy. I agree. I definitely agree. Guys, remember, Twitch is also an Amazon-owned company. So keep that in mind.
Know that.
Yes, it is. So Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime, they're all connected with each other, okay? So anyway, the first thing that a lot of people wanted to know was Cody Connors was an unknown person prior to this tweet, right? And so a lot of people were like, how the hell do we know he's a former Twitch employee? Well, we didn't at that time, but we do now, and we're going to get into that because Dr. Disrespect himself has given credibility. That's right. Has given credibility to this person here. So this is what started it all, is what I'm trying to say. And you can see that honestly, it really didn't get a lot of, well, I guess it got 29 million views here that you guys can see right there, 29 million views, but there wasn't a whole lot of engagement, to be fair, on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving forward to the first Dr. Disrespect response to this. This is his first response. And you will see how vague and flippant this response is. That's a good word for it, flippant. Listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can say, since this is the fucking internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal. No wrongdoing was found, and I was paid. Elden Ring Monday. So let's talk about this. A couple of things I want to mention about this. The first thing is, let's talk about the settlement. In June of 2020, when he was banned from Twitch, Dr. Disrespect sued Twitch for breach of contract. Essentially, he was saying that they released him from his contract and it wasn't for a valid reason. In response, Twitch countersued Dr. Disrespect, basically for wrongdoing, okay? Now, through all of this situation, nobody was really talking about a victim because we didn't know that there was a victim. But now, today, we know that there is. And so that kind of changes the dynamic of this settlement, right? Because Twitch, in order to not settle or to go through with all this, the victim's identity is probably going to get known if there is a judicial process to the whole thing. So I feel, this is just conjecture in my own opinion, I feel like Twitch settled with Dr. Disrespect for two reasons. The first was to protect the identity of the victim. And the second is because there were no criminal charges brought up on Dr. Disrespect because of the victim, right? Because in order for you to criminally charge somebody, a lot of the times you need to have the victim's cooperation. Otherwise, there's not a crime, okay?
Yeah.
Those are the two reasons why I feel like they settled. The reason why I'm saying that here is because Dr. Disrespect in his very first response to this allegation by the former Twitch employee is using the settlement as his validation point for not doing anything wrong. Okay?
Yep.
Essentially, they paid me, therefore I'm good, and we should just keep moving on. Elden Ring on Monday. Nothing to see here. Business as usual next week, essentially. Absolutely disgusting, his first response to this. Now, this was on June 22nd, so basically an entire day has gone by between the first tweet and Dr. Disrespect's answer to the first tweet. Okay? A really long time. And you can see right here the very first comment on this bullshit response is from Keemstar. Bro, why won't you say I was not talking to a minor trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon like what was alleged? If you don't know who Keem is, he is a giant influencer and digital creator. Tens of millions of followers across the internet. All right. He's going to become very relevant to our story here in a minute. But the next thing I want to show y'all is very, very important. This is a response on the 24th, which is 2 days later after the first bullshit response by Dr. Disrespect, from his AAA game studio that he co-founded with some of his friends. This is a direct tweet from that company, which is called Midnight Society. On Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, a.k.a. Dr. Disrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we have employed along with our community of players. Katie Lynn, I know you have some feelings about this. I'll let you take this one.
Well, first of all, we said this last night when we talked about it, but the sentence, for this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. That right there, that statement says a lot. It was released before the next statement we're going to take a look at, which says something pretty different. But good for them on that. Good for them, because you know what? It doesn't matter who the fuck you are. Like, this ain't right. It ain't right. Period. And he needs to be called out for it, and he needs to get the shit beat out of him, honestly. But
yeah, no, I'm right there with you on that. I like the fact that you can obviously see that this is 2 days later, 3 days later from the original thing that started all of this. They've clearly done their own internal investigation. It sounds to me like they've talked to people in the know at Twitch, possibly even talked to the victim themselves, or maybe the family of the victim. But needless to say, they found enough here to announce that they are terminating their relationship with somebody who was not only co-founding their studio, but was literally the face of their company and the face of their game that is in development, okay? Very important that y'all see that. Going forward, I want to show you guys the personal statement of the man who co-founded this studio with Dr. Disrespect, a guy by the name of Robert Bowling. This is a personal statement from his personal Twitter, and it says, quote, "This is a statement from me personally. It does not reflect any of my companies and has not gone through any legal or PR approvals. If you inappropriately message a minor, I cannot work with you. Period. I promised to only act on facts, and I did." And you will see here in the comments, it's just a bunch of people defending trash, okay? Very important that y'all see that. Through all of this, you have a multitude of people who are literally defending this pile of shit. because again, you know, it is innocent until proven guilty. I'll be the first to admit that. But the conjecture and the circumstantial evidence that is coming out a little bit at a time makes a whole lot of sense. And when
at very minimum, you should not be defending him.
Right.
I mean, be like on the line a little bit if you want.
That's
but
right.
Like go to the point of like defense.
I mean, you can use innocent until proven guilty, which is fine. But you don't use that to defend somebody when you yourself don't even know the facts, right?
Yep.
So you're essentially defending somebody blindly, and that can go against you in the future because the internet is forever. You can, and we'll see that in a minute in edit history, right? We'll see that very, very shortly. But now we're going to show you guys a video response from Keemstar that I think is very pertinent to this situation. Because at the time that this was put out, a lot of people were trying to say that Dr. Disrespect says he's innocent. He did no wrongdoing. Remember the first response where he's pointing towards the settlement as his validation point that I didn't do anything wrong. And Keemstar makes a very, very significant comparison or difference between what he believes, and I do as well, is what Doc is actually saying in that tweet. Here we go.
This Dr. Disrespect story is absolutely infuriating, all right? An ex-Twitch employee comes out and says that Dr. Disrespect was whispering to a minor and making plans to meet up with that minor at TwitchCon. And that's why he was banned from Twitch. And then went on to say that he's a piece of shit and his friends are a piece of shit and all that. Dr. Disrespect responds by saying, hey, look, I was found to have done nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong, all right? He comes out with another statement. I did nothing wrong. Dr. Disrespect is not responding to the allegation. The allegation is that he whispered and tried to make plans to meet up with a minor at TwitchCon. That is the allegation from the ex-Twitch employee. He's not responding to that. When he's saying, I did nothing wrong, he's referring to the settlement. He did a settlement with Twitch after suing Twitch, and Twitch countersued him, I believe, and they settled out of court agreeing with mutual statements that both parties did nothing wrong. That's a lawsuit. That doesn't represent what actually took place at all. Doc isn't responding to the actual allegation. All he's saying is, I did nothing wrong. We would have to have some type of definition from Dr. Disrespect. What do you mean by wrong? Is messaging a minor wrong? All right? Is like, you would have to, like, do you see how many layers in the legal mumble bumbo and jumbo that's happening here? He's not responding to the actual allegation. And all these people online are like, look, Doc's innocent. See, he said he did nothing wrong. He's talking about the fucking settlement. He's talking about the goddamn settlement with Twitch. He's not actually responding to what is being alleged. God, this is infuriating. It's so infuriating. Doc, give a real response to the allegations.
And so that's Keemstar, and he has very good points there. Very good points, because we're going to talk about that in a little while from another video that is also pertinent to this stuff from another leader in the community, Ninja. The fact of the matter is, if you settle out of court with somebody, it's because there are things you don't want people to know. Yep. It means that some wrong was done. Period. Yep. You don't settle. Go ahead.
Crash control.
Yes. Yes. You don't settle if you're in the right. You just don't. If you have a good case and you know you're going to win, you don't settle. You don't sign an NDA. You don't sign confidentiality agreements. If you are pristine, there's no reason to do any of that. The word settlement in itself means that you did something wrong.
Yep.
Period. So let's move on, because now we finally get an actual response by the piece of trash in question. And this is where things get fun. For those of you out there that may know about the show To Catch a Predator, I want you guys to keep that in mind, the verbiage that is used on To Catch a Predator by the predators when they're caught. We have a predator right here who has been caught. And here is his response.
Chris Hansen approved.
Yes. This was posted on June 25th. This is great. I hate that I have to read this again, man. This fucking thing just makes me sick, man. The Twitch ban. Hello. I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the fucking bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. Firstly, let's stop right there. There's no filter with the guy wearing a wig, sunglasses, and a Super Mario outfit cosplaying on the internet for the last 12 years. There's absolutely no filter from him, and he's always kept it real with y'all. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about. And I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now.
Shut the fuck up.
First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. As we read through this, I want you guys to try to figure out who he's not apologizing to, all right? A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I. And we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. Our team is full of incredible, talented, and good people that have high career ambitions and families. And I'd never want to jeopardize the culture we have carefully crafted.
Bullshit.
So right here, he is trying to say I would never do anything, ever. And I'm such a good human being that I thought of all of these families, and I decided that I would step down. And my friends at the game studio collectively agreed with me. When his friends at the studio, literally 3 days prior to this statement,
we're like, get the fuck out.
They already terminated your ass, my dude. This is not a character renovation, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to renovate his character by showing people that he was so good of heart to step down from this position because he doesn't want to affect the families of the people involved.
Shut the fuck up. God.
Continuing on. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. This is one of the chief mistakes that this idiot made on this statement, okay? Because he had plausible deniability by essentially just calling into question the credibility of the people that are accusing him. This is Law 101. It makes me believe that his legal team was hired by Donald Trump. I'm going to keep it real. It makes me believe that. Because this guy, all he has to do to help himself out of this is to simply call into question whether the people accusing him were actually Twitch employees or not. But instead, he sends credibility right through the internet to these people by saying, quote, now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations. He's just given them the credibility that he could have used to deny it. Absolute idiocy. I mean, what are you doing, bro? In your edit history, this should have been the paragraph you changed. I'll keep it real.
Because, like, I mean, and by him validating it, like, they could have kept the entire thing quiet.
I mean, I don't know.
If they weren't validated,
right.
If they weren't validated, they could have just been like, no.
I mean, I don't know who Cody Connors is. I don't know his resume. I don't know if he's worked for Twitch or not. But now that Dr. Disrespect, the person who's being called into question, has said that they are former Twitch employees, now I believe that they are former Twitch employees. Because the trash literally told us they are. Thank you so much. Moving on. This is a very important paragraph, and we're going to talk about the beginning of this paragraph in depth very, very soon. So pay attention to this, ladies and gentlemen. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. Real intentions. That is to catch a predator 101.
I was sure that she was okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure she was all right. I didn't intend to do anything with that child. Moving on. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. To Catch a Predator 101, again, I never met her. I couldn't have done anything wrong. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. This is very important. Yes, this entire paragraph is so easy to... all right, first and foremost, again, trying to use the settlement to validate his fucking behavior, right? I did nothing wrong. Criminal charges were never brought. I'm fine. You can't touch me, right? Where he says nothing illegal happened. Bullshit. In the United States of America, it is illegal to have a sexual conversation with anybody under the age of 18. Period. It doesn't matter what the consent laws are wherever that minor lives. It does not matter. Why? Because the internet laws are different than your age of consent laws in your state.
Well, and either way, if I'm in a different state, because like the age of consent here is 17, and say it's 18 somewhere else, it's the same thing as traveling to my state.
Well, it
like
doesn't. Honestly, it doesn't matter, Katie, because on the internet, the age is 18.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though.
The age is 18. It is a porn law that anybody under the age of 18 is not allowed to be subjected to anything sexual in nature on the internet. Period.
Right.
So he has done something illegal. He has sexted a minor. And sexting a minor on the internet, regardless of their age, is illegal. Period. I don't care how you try to dress it up. It is illegal. Now, the word in this sentence that pisses me off more than any other is the word mutual. Right there. The word mutual. Now, I know there's probably going to be some parents listening or watching this broadcast. Do you want any human being, adult male, to have a mutual conversation with your child that sometimes leans too much in the direction of being inappropriate? Do you feel Go ahead.
It cannot be mutual.
Exactly. That's what I was about to get to. Do you feel as a parent that your child, regardless of their age, can have a mutual conversation when it comes to sex with an adult male? Mind you, the adult male is 37 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. There's no such thing as mutual. Not to mention, I don't want any adult human being male having a casual relationship with my child. Period.
There's no reason, even if it wasn't inappropriate, it still would be weird that they're messaging.
It should not have happened, period. And we talked about that last night, and I'm not going to get into it quite as much as we did last night. But as somebody who's been a content creator, influencer, digital creator for 6 years, I've had giveaways on my channel. I've had minors that have won my giveaways on my channel. And once I found out that they were a minor, all conversations stopped. Period. And that's the thing with a space on the internet. You can have your ratings. You can be rated R. You can be 18 plus. You can do all of those things that protects you as a live content creator. But you're still going to have minors coming into your channel. That's why it's very important that all of your shit is posted 18 plus, rated R, TV, MA, whatever it is, wherever you are. It's important that you follow those guidelines because that's when you get in trouble. The problem with this situation is a whisper is a direct message, and those are not 18 plus areas, period. Those are direct conversations with a person somewhere else on the planet, okay? Mm-hmm. And those cannot be rated. They can't be. You just can't, right? So immediately, as soon as you know that it's a minor, that should be the end, regardless of what you're talking about. As an adult, you should know better, especially this guy who's also a parent. He's also been accused of cheating on not accused, caught cheating on his wife in the past. Go ahead.
I want to make a note on that. Like I said, I've been watching videos and shit, and someone made a funny point. Now, this is not proven. I'm not saying this is a thing. It's just it's something to think about. So, the allegations of cheating were in 2017. Was in 2017. I wonder if they were correlated.
So, from what I understand, they are two separate things. Yeah. So there was a big to-do about that, and he came out in a video online when he wasn't in character where he admitted to cheating and all of this stuff. Apparently, she caught him actually cheating. This was a physical cheat. Yes. So.
Okay.
Anyway, getting back to the statement, I just wanted to really kind of show the response of an actual parent and how they would feel about a mutual, casual conversation with their child that sometimes leans too far into the inappropriate. Okay? Notice that the man is not saying, I didn't know how old she was. Notice he's not saying, oh, she lied to me about her age. Notice he's not saying that in his response. And try to figure out in your mind why this man would not be using that as an excuse. Because you're right, the easy answer is number one, he knew, and number two, there's proof that he knew. Because otherwise he would just be saying, oh, I didn't know. But if he says he didn't know and there's proof that he did, and then that proof comes out, he looks even really worse. Right, he's even worse. So he's not even going to say that. He's going to try to, move away from the fact that he knew.
Gaslight the whole situation.
Exactly right. And the gaslighting's about to fucking begin, ladies and gentlemen, in this very same statement. So here we go. Yep. Here's the gaslighting. Now, where is it? Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. Remember, he's done nothing wrong. He says right here, nothing illegal happened, no pictures were shared, no crimes were committed. I just debunked that. Crimes were committed.
Even though he literally said, yes, I messaged an individual minor in 2017.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm not a pedophile, but I am. But anyway, let's talk about this. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid.
Also, bringing the husband and father, that's not a stretch for me, but it's that's supposed to pull at your heartstrings or some shit like that. And also, to put on there, that's on me as an adult, husband, and a father. Mm-hmm. Don't talk about being a father when you're talking about being a pedophile in the same damn statement. Come on, man.
Right. Exactly right. Exactly right. I'm right there with you. The guy's trying to make himself seem more human to people because he's been cosplaying for however long. I'm a husband and a father. Well, you know what? If you were a father,
makes it worse.
It actually 100% does make it worse, especially when he starts attacking the people who are calling him a pedophile. because he is a pedophile, right? Now, and remember, this is a man. Now, we haven't talked about this, but I'll bring this up right now. This is a man who has defended his transphobia or transphobe partner, Nick Merckx, using the hashtag Leave the Children Alone and attacking trans people for targeting and grooming children while actually targeting and grooming children himself.
In a wig.
In a wig. And dressing up. Good point. Oh my gosh. Anyway, now with all this said, hold on. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid. Except he's not owning his shit. The one thing I can agree with him on is this was stupid. 100%. Now, with all this said, don't get it fucking mistaken. And this is when he's going to start gaslighting and attacking the people who essentially are calling him a pedophile. Rightfully so. So he's essentially attacking me and Katie Lynn here, honestly. Because this is how we feel, right? Now, with all this said, don't get it fucking mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no fucking predator or pedophile. Again, caught by a predator 101. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me fucking knows where I stand on those things with those types of people. Fuck that. That's a different level of disgust that I fucking hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. But I think I've said...
Sorry. You know what that is right there? That is called denial, for one. But if you're like separating yourself from that, you don't believe you're doing anything wrong. Mm-hmm. Even though you literally are the same. So in his brain, that's pretty fucking sick.
Mm-hmm. He's like, deflecting. It's deflection. Yeah. Yeah. It's every accusation is a confession, essentially, right? Mm-hmm. That's essentially what that is. Yeah. So but I think I've said what I needed to say regarding the ban itself. That's it. That's why Twitch made the decision in 2020. To my team, community, industry friends that have supported me, I apologize. I wish I could have said all this sooner. Pause. Again, notice who he's not apologizing to. I'll get to that in a minute. You guys have always showed me and my family love and support throughout all these years. We love you guys like you can't imagine. I have the fucking best community and circle. If any of this has made you uncomfortable, I get it. You don't have to support me anymore, but just know you have always been greatly appreciated. But trust me when I say this. To all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero real-life experience, I don't give a fuck about you. First of all, let me just say, if targeting, grooming, and trying to sext a minor is a real-life experience, I'd prefer not to couple those with you, my dude. Yeah. Yeah. Finally, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine. But I'm not fucking going anywhere. I'm not the same guy that made this mistake all those years ago. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family as mentioned on stream, and I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear. Yeah, fucking right. All right.
I've changed so much since I was 37 all the way to 42.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I don't target minors anymore. I don't cheat on my wife anymore. I'm not a shitty father. I'm not a transphobe. I'm not all of those things that I've been telling you guys that I am all of these years. I'm just stupid, and I did an inappropriate thing 5 years ago that I'll never ever do again. The question is, how many times did he not get caught, right? So let's talk about edit history. Because again, we have an imbecile on the internet. Mind you, it's a man that has made millions of dollars on the internet and should know better about the internet. So my dude, I want you guys to pay attention to this area right here, individual minor. This is the sentence in question. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? Ridiculous. Essentially, about 12 seconds after this response was posted on the internet, he made an edit to, not 12 seconds. He made an edit after posting this, And then 12 seconds after that edit, he was being called on the edit. And I'm going to show you what the edit is. Because on Twitter, a.k.a. X, they put the edit history on here for all to see. It's a beautiful thing that this imbecile probably should have known about since he makes his living on the internet, right? Check it out. Here's the edit history. And the first edit is right here. You will notice that sentence, were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual back in 2017? You will see a word is missing. Katie Lynn, what word is missing?
Minor. The most fucking important word. Minor.
That's right. Minor. The word minor has been removed from this message or this response. It's the only edit that was taken in this. And you will see that down here, people are literally calling him on the edit somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it is down here. I promise you. You guys can look through the comments yourself. But there are also loads of people that are calling him on the edit.
There was drunk Justin Timberlake down there.
Yeah, I saw that. How old was that girl, Mr. Disrespect? If you guys want some entertainment, definitely come into the comment section. Now, literally 12 seconds after this edit was made, people started calling him on the edit. So 9 minutes after the edit was made, he goes back in and he edits it again right here. Here's the first edit right here. Here's the second edit right here that I'm going to show y'all. And you will see miraculously the word minor is now back in that sentence. Unbelievable, this piece of crap, right? So there you have it. There's the two edits he made. He got called on it. He put the word back in, hoping nobody would notice. But this is the internet. This is literally people's thing, right? Like, this is what people do. They find shit like this. But we're not done with this, right? So I want to show you guys a couple of videos of his closest friends that he has played and partnered with over the years. Also, huge content creator names and digital creator names and influencers. One is a guy by the name of Nick Merckx, who is the transphobe that I was talking about earlier, who has subsequently been banned from Twitch as well for using a transphobic slur. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. This is the guy that thinks that trans people are after our children, when it's really his best friend that is after our children. And here is the video that he made over this response from his boy, Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, checking in. I'm seeing everything on Twitter, and I read through Doc's tweet, and in that very tweet, he basically confirms that, you know, he was texting an underage girl, and it went weird sometimes, you know. And look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man, that's inexcusable. It's unacceptable, right? There's no excuse for something like that, and I can't support it. Hang on, honey. Doing this, talking to Twitter. I can't support it. I can't defend it. And look, the boys and I are torn up over it too, man, because we played a lot of games with the guy, and it feels a little weird, but what can you do, you know? So I just wanted to update you guys on my thoughts and how I'm feeling. And I mean, look, I hope you guys have a good day. All right? So,
I can't hear you.
Sorry. This is a man, Nick Merckx, who has very openly and with a lot of vitriol in the past targeted transgender people for targeting children. I mean, hateful shit that this man has said against people for targeting children with absolutely no evidence that they were. And here he is, literally not supporting the unfortunate weird that his best friend, who's actually targeting children, and there is evidence for it, and he just sounds like his cat got its tail run over. Like, oh God, this is horrible, and the boys and I are just torn up over it. This is a guy who has openly called for the head of transgender people for simply existing. And this is his reaction to his best friend actually not leaving the children alone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's go to Tim the Tap Man. I have less hate for Tim the Tap Man.
Also, he's shirtless too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just so you know, if you're going to come out not supporting Dr. Disrespect, you got to take your shirt off, Kadie. So just don't do it.
This is absolutely insane, bro. Everything I'm seeing. I have known Doc for a while now. We've played games for years, and seeing everything that is spiraling right now is a very difficult thing for me personally, and I'm sure for a lot of y'all out there. I think for me, I know a lot of you are asking, Tim, what are you feeling? Tim, what are you feeling? My bottom line, I think, is if what he is saying, where he said that he was messaging a minor and it would sometimes lead to teeter on inappropriate, if he knew that was a minor and those were the messages being sent, I cannot support that. I can't. I appreciate y'all. This is beating me up, but this is unfortunate to say the least. This is awful. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for the love you give, and I'll see y'all soon, man.
So again, the word unfortunate is used here. And this is something we didn't comment on last night, Kadie, but something I noticed this time. I feel like he's being very specific with his words, so that way, if something changes, he can come back to Doc and say, see, I just said, like, if you didn't know her age and blah, 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 but if you didn't know, like, I feel like he's being careful here in case he wants to befriend the Doc again later.
It's so walking on eggshells.
Yes!
So that's such the tiptoeing around. That's exactly what this statement and the other statement feels like. Just like being very choicey of your words and very vague and light about it. Like, that's the same vibe for both of them.
It's disgusting to me. Like, to me, there's enough evidence here that he did wrong. You don't become the face of a company and then get banned over nothing, right? And my guess is these dudes knew long time ago what went down here. They had to have known a long time ago. Like, you don't go to your boy and say, hey, why did you get banned from Twitch? Like, and then say, oh, it's because I filmed in the bathroom or I streamed in the bathroom, which is the reason that was given back then. Like, you're close with this guy. You gotta know more than that, right? Like, these guys knew. I feel like they knew. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they've heard these excuses before.
There's no way. I mean, if he didn't just come out and say it. Now, I will say, I don't know. Maybe they had. I don't think that they were told. I don't think the dude was like, hey, this is what's going on. I'm sure none of that happened. But
right.
I'm sure they had a weird feeling. There's no way that you see all this. And, like, I know they knew more than likely what was going on with the settlement. Maybe not what, like, they knew all that stuff. And probably, more than we would.
Right.
Like, so, I don't know. They had to have had some kind of inkling of something that is definitely a lot worse than that.
And the fact is, like, they should be coming out a lot stronger than this. I mean, at least one of these guys claims to be an advocate for kids and, openly targets the wrong group of people for targeting kids. Here's your opportunity, my dude. Here's your chance to actually advocate for children in a very solid stance. And you're literally talking like your cat got its tail run over, shirtless by the pool on a sunny afternoon. Like,
no, they'd probably be crying.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It doesn't
probably
feel
have a better reaction.
It doesn't feel genuine to me, and that's why I include Ninja, who you can see on your screen here. This guy, he's done some things in the past that I don't agree with, and nothing to this extent. Just some marketing things that he's done that I'm not a huge fan of. But by and large, he's been a very character-filled member of the gaming and streaming community. And I do look up to the guy, and it's good to hear his voice of reason in this situation. This is a 3-minute video. You can obviously tell that he's shell-shocked, like the other two guys are. Definitely very shell-shocked, definitely wanting more info. But I want you guys to hear Ninja in his own words, and then we'll wrap this up, and Kadie and I will give our predictions on where we think this will go from here. But here is Ninja, who I'm sure most of you guys out there have heard of.
That's been going on, not involving me, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And I just got 2 things to say, and then we're just gonna move on and keep playing Fortnite. All right, number 1, anything involving a minor at all, no matter what it is, like is not okay. It's messed up, and it's illegal, and it's pretty simple. So especially if you, all right, I'm not gonna get too much into detail about that, but like, come on, it's a no-brainer, right? That's number 1. And number 2, with the whole doc situation and just what's been released these last 2 days, like, here's what I'll point out for now, and that is, if you guys don't know, Midnight Society, which is the game that Doc helped build, right, and create, and he was a part of the company, did their own investigative research behind the scenes, right? And found enough evidence to let him go from the company, right? Not administrative leave, not we'll address this later. Like, let him go after doing their own research, right? And after doing their own internal investigation behind the scenes. So, like, if that's not enough, right, evidence or enough to, like, they found something, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, now let's, like, I've seen a bunch of clips out there. I've seen a bunch of stuff from XQC, like you said. Apparently, there's more stuff coming out. So until then, it's only been 2 days into the situation. So let's just wait until we see more. But, like, that's all I have to say. Yeah, saying I didn't do anything illegal or like there was no wrongdoing. I mean, a lawsuit at the end of the day, not a lawsuit, but a settlement, right? Because there's talks about a settlement. A settlement, no matter what it looks like publicly, it usually means someone did something, right? Or there was some truth to enough truth, right? You settle to cover things up. You settle to not let things get out there. All right? So just do your own research, look stuff up, and just let's just keep on waiting for some more stuff. More evidence moving on in the future. But done with the drama. I didn't even want to talk about this because I hate stuff like this. But, you know, as being in the community, like a leader of the community, and same with the doc being a leader of the community, like, I had to touch on it. That's my 2 cents. Don't fucking text minors or do any of that shit. It shouldn't be that difficult. Just be a good person, man, and be a leader in the community.
Yep.
And guess what? He's right. It's not that difficult to be a good person. It's not that difficult to be kind. It's not that hard to know right from wrong. And that's what gets me about all of this is this guy, this piece of trash, knows what he did was wrong. He knows that. He knew while he was doing it that it was wrong. He knew when he was cheating on his wife the first time that it was wrong. He knew live streaming from the bathroom was wrong. He knows that all of these things are wrong. But he doesn't give a flying fuck that they're wrong. He doesn't care. He doesn't think it applies to him. Period. That's what went down here. And then he gaslights by trying to deflect that same behavior onto other people and trying to make himself look like the victim. And that's what's happening with his community that's still sticking around. Even after all of this circumstantial, I get it, evidence, all of this, there are still people, like tens of thousands of them, that are standing by this piece of trash and still defending him. And that is scary, man. That is really scary.
Absolutely scary.
Because I thought, personally, one of the things in this world that all of us could agree on, whether we're Democrat or Republican or white or black or Mexican or Asian or straight or gay or whatever, I thought the one thing that all of us could agree on was to leave the fucking children alone. But apparently that's not the case. As long as the person is absolutely idolized, it's okay for that person to target children. That's essentially what these people are saying, right? I mean, it's disgusting, and it's clear to me that it doesn't matter what people do as long as they're a hero in your life. It doesn't matter what Dr. Disrespect does or other people that people idolize do, because all of that will be thrown away. Well, let's look at the good that he's done. Let's look at the good things he's done in his stream. But let me tell you guys something. A million good acts are always going to be overshadowed by one decrepit, derogatory, disgusting event. Every single time. You can gift $1 billion to the most unfortunate people on the planet, but as soon as you target a child, all of that doesn't matter anymore.
Nope.
It can't. It can't.
That, you're right. That has always been like an understanding. Like, it does not matter who the fuck you are. If you're a predator, I mean, no one wants shit to do with you. I mean, look what happens when you go to prison. But like, even like the worst of the worst, like, think you're the worst. You know, like, and the fact that, and we see it with everybody, any celebrity, any, you know, A-lister, whatever, that anything comes out of them.
Politicians.
Yeah.
I don't care what he does, I'll still support him. Like, it doesn't, I just don't understand, man. Like, at some point in time, our worship of famous people has to stop. Like, at some point in time, you have to have a threshold. And some people just don't have a threshold when it comes to bad behavior.
All celebrities, anyone famous, all they are successful. That's literally it. That's the only difference, is that they were able to do extra
and some
shit.
of them aren't, to be fair. Some of them aren't successful, and it's just weird. But anyway, let's talk about future happenings or events with this situation. What do we think is going to happen, if anything, going forward?
Well, I said last night, I wish they would release the receipts, and I know they can't because, you know, we don't want to out the victim or anything, but at the same time, I really, because what it's sounding pretty bad. I really wish we could just shove up somebody's faces, like these people that are defending him, like, you see, bitch, see. I really wish we could do that.
I feel like it's very telling. You talk about the victim. This is something we didn't touch on earlier that I wish we had. I think it's very telling in both of these statements from the trash. The victim is not mentioned.
Nope.
There's no apology to her. There's no apology to the family. There's no apology to her friends, anybody that might be hurt by his actions. Because there is a victim in this. There is somebody who could be hurt by this, probably is. At the very least, her parents and family are going to have to live with this the rest of their lives. And this piece of dog doo-doo just didn't even bother to mention that in any of his statements. So just to say that, hypothetically, instead of attacking people and gaslighting people and taking credit for himself leaving the company for the good of the people that work for the company, if instead of that he decided to apologize to the victim, would that change anything for you, Kadie?
It would definitely have a different look. Now, I feel like if he would have done that, I don't know, man. It's because even if he did that, he still threw in the shit, like all the stuff that was really damning, like the super defensive shit, the gaslighting, all that. that stands alone. That right there is what is like, okay, this is a lot. But take all that out, add in an apology. I mean, I feel like it would be more up for debate, you know.
Well, let's keep in
Maybe.
mind he apologized to his community, his own family, his own friends, his own co-workers, the families that he worked for or worked for him. He apologized to all the people that are affected by his stupidity, his own words, except for the victim and the victim's family. He apologized to everybody except the person who deserves the apology.
It's him trying to kiss ass with these people to save face, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't even stop to think.
Nope.
Didn't even stop to think
Sure
about the
didn't.
victim. Not
And it's unfortunate. I know that word is being thrown around a lot. It is unfortunate. And personally, I hope somehow this man is brought to justice because he deserves, at the very least, to serve time for this shit. And as long as we as a society allow these dirtbags to target our children and then try to just call it inappropriate or leaning towards inappropriate, as long as we allow that to happen, then these clowns are going to get away with this shit over and over and over and over.
He needs to be banned from the internet. No one needs to see this man. He does not need to be allowed to talk to anybody on the internet.
And let's remember the repercussions thus far for this guy. He has lost his ability to do anything on Twitch. He has lost his ability to do anything on Discord. He's lost his partnership with Discord. The San Francisco 49ers have distanced themselves from him. They will no longer be doing promotional stuff with him. This is a guy that recently announced a draft pick for the 49ers. Let's see. NBA 2K25 has removed all of his likenesses from their video game. So there are a lot of repercussions that he's dealing with. He's lost sponsorships and endorsements and all of those things.
And I'm sure when more proof comes out, or when it does get taken to court, anything like that, when charges are brought, give it one more little step, and I bet you he's off YouTube too.
Well, again, he's allowed to stream on YouTube and Facebook and places like that. But again, even that, we talked about that last night, that is also very telling. Because in a time when exclusivity is so important to these platforms, to lock up the bigger creators,
also,
they didn't offer him an exclusive deal.
I watched a video today that came out like 15 minutes before I watched it, and it is true. His YouTube is now demonetized.
Is it?
Yes.
Interesting. Very nice.
So I'm thinking just one more step, and then he's off that shit too.
Well, see, demonetization is a big step because he's getting millions and millions and millions of views, and that shit adds up very quickly. But he's still going to have a direct line to his biggest supporters. You can bet your ass on that, right? So,
for sure.
Unless all of the like the PayPals and the Cash Apps and the Venmos and places like that, if they still allow him to do business, then he's always going to have the most morally corrupt people that follow him still supporting him. Sadly, that's the way the world works nowadays, right? There's always going to be people that are equally as disgusting as you